Hey everybody. I still haven't found anything that's been influential to let me talk about it, but no particular subject. But I got to talk about something just to get the Bible word out there. So instead, sometimes you got to inspire yourself when nothing's inspiring you. So instead, what I will do today is just pretty much pick a verse randomly and then just discuss what it's talking about. It's no long discussion, so it's probably going to be only like 5 minutes or so, I guess. But anyway, this is the Bible app. If you haven't got it, then go check it out. I don't even know what it's called. The Bible app, I guess. Um, but it's a pretty good app. And what I'll do is just pretty much just randomly move this, and then I'm just gonna pick one. Let's see. And what did it come to? Oh, Habakkuk. I don't even know what this is about. Some things I won't know, but we can discover them together. Then it's verses 1, 2, and 3. So I'll just pick one. So let's see. Habakkuk. Let me just stick to a specific verse. Let me see if there's something that I can pick out. Okay, here's the pretty much the whole subject is about why is God silent now? And I'll just read it and then we can discuss it, or I can discuss it and try to explain it. It's so weird I would pick this one because this is the least known one that I know about. Okay, so the chapter says, why is God silent now? God, you're from eternity, aren't you? Holy God, we aren't going to die, are we? God, you chose Babylonians for your judgment work. Rock solid God, you gave them the job of discipline. But you can't be serious. You can't condone evil. So why don't you do something about all this? Why are you silent now? This outrage. Evil men swallow up the righteous, and you stand around and watch. You're treating men and women as so many fish in the ocean, swimming without direction, swimming but not getting anywhere. Then this evil Babylonian arrives and goes fishing. He pulls in a good catch. He catches his limit and fills his creel. A good day of fishing. He's happy. He praises his rod and reel, piles his fishing gear on an altar and worships it. It's made his day, and he's going to eat well tonight. Are you going to let this go on and on? Will you let this Babylonian fisherman fish like a weekend angler, killing people as if they're nothing but fish? So this is pretty much, I would have to read the whole thing to know what it's talking about, but I can pull some topic out of this one little section, and that is the question that we all have. Why, if there's a God, why is he silent? Why doesn't he help out? Etc. We all have those thoughts, but pretty much from reading the experiences in the Bible, God is mindful of everything. He knows what you go through. You might pray all day, and he knows good and well that you're going through troubles, but he says that he's never going to put you through anything more than what you can handle. So sometimes you go through bad experiences in life so that you can gain more experience, so that you can process and proceed in the future with better wisdom and humble yourself. That's a particular thing that happens when you go through trying situations. After you come out of it, you're humble and you have a high appreciation for God, because while you're praying through it all, you're in trouble and you're like, God, why don't you hear me? Why don't you answer? I'm in trouble right now. Come save me. Hopefully by the end of it, you realize, hey, I made it through that whole experience, and now I came out stronger than when I started. So it was good for me to go through that experience. And that's the kind of God we have. He has created us. He created us to be rulers on this earth and to live life out. And also, he's given us the free will to choose him or to not. So in part of that free will, he can't always just come and interrupt us when we are in trouble, although he does have the ability. And in many times in the Bible, even there's proof that he has rescued sometime in the past when people cry out for help. So it's pretty much up to his plan. He knows everybody's beginning and end. So he knows whether you're going to be able to survive the hard times that you're going to go through or not. If he sees that this is something that this person can't survive without me coming and intervening, then he's going to step in and he's going to assist you in any way he can. But if he sees at the end of your road, this person's going to be just fine. It's hard for him right now. It's almost like a childbirth. You know, if you're pregnant, I've never been pregnant, but just from the stories you hear, a woman carries this baby and is all trying and she's tired and her feet swollen and she just can't wait to have the baby to get out. But she knows that in order to get the baby out, she's going to go through some pain. But at the end of the pain, she's going to have this beautiful baby that she cares about. So it's kind of like that. God sees the time that you are pregnant through the time that you're going to have hard times to get the baby out to the beautiful baby at the end. So you're the beautiful baby at the end. He sees that you're going through this road, that you're going through all kind of troubles. It looks like everything's on fire. Everything's being thrown at you, and you don't really know what to do about stuff. But at the same time, he says, I got you. He's got your back pretty much. He sets armies around us pretty much of protection. And we're all protected if we come to realize that God really cares about us, then that's when we can be secure in our troubles and say, you know what, I've been through troubles before and I got through them fine. And the more troubles you go through, the more times that you realize that at the end of this, I'm not going to come out, any worse off than I was. I'm going to be better at the end of this. So just go ahead and enjoy your trials because nothing's going to get you out of them anyway. So you might as well just sit back, relax, and say, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy this. Because God is a caring God. He has many scriptures and verses that he's left with us. So we can realize what kind of God he is and realize that he's not just the God who wants evil for you. He expects best. I mean, you can imagine in yourself, would you give your own child, imagine you had a child, and you saw that someone else was in trouble and you know that they brought that trouble upon themselves. But still, you say, you know what? In this situation, my child's life can save this person's life. Like if they were going to jail or something, if the person was at risk of going to jail for life, and then you had a child and you say, you know what, child, I want you to go in there and say that you did the crime instead of him, and you go to jail for him. So that's kind of what God did for us. He pretty much took his own son, his own self, and put it in a flesh body and went through the pain of giving his life up, being killed, crucified, just so he can save us. So you can imagine that's a high value, that's a high price. And there's no way that anybody who's covered in the blood of Jesus Christ, he's going to forget about him. He's not going to forget about him at all. If somebody just denies Christ and says, I don't want you as my father, or I don't want your protection at all, I'm going to be off on my own, I don't want your help. I mean, he still has a choice to look over every once in a while and say, you know what, you're doing this to yourself, but I care about you, I'll help you. But it's up to us ultimately to say that, yes, you are my father and I trust in you and I know you're going to pull me out of whatever I go through. So to end everything, I don't even know, to tell the truth, I have never even seen this chapter. I've read it through the whole Bible, but this doesn't, because it's only 3 chapters in the Bible. And I probably read through it quick all the times I've read the Bible, and I never even really noticed this. But it's Habakkuk. I don't even know how to say that. And it just tells you, this is a great thing about the Bible because it's so much information that it's no way in the world that you can actually consume all this. It would take your whole lifetime, and that's what's good about it, because it takes you looking into the Bible and reading and finding out the characters and hearing more about them and learning the whole picture of what God's trying to tell you about something. So it's a good thing because you never get bored with it. You're always interested. You're always trying to find out more about God if you have that heart and that spirit to learn more about God. You can never come to the day and say, I've read the whole Bible, it means nothing to me. Well, if you read it so good, then tell me Tell me what Habakkuk is. Where's my camera hole at? Somewhere. Tell me what Habakkuk is. I mean, I don't know what that is. I don't even know if that's a person or a place, but he's pretty much in trouble, and all he's doing is crying out. And when we get mad and we have the anxiety, we want to scream out to God and say, God, you're not protecting me. You forgot all about me. You didn't left me. I thought you were a real God. You're treating me any kind of way. And we accuse God and everything. It's a good example of that in Job. If you ever read Job, he gets so tired because he was living a so-called perfect life where he's just not sinning and he's obeying God, etc. And all of a sudden, evil asks God, evil comes to God and says pretty much, look, yeah, he's perfect. He has all these good things. And yeah, he's serving you because look, you've given him children, you've given him a nice place to live, you've given him lots of money, you've given him a beautiful wife. He has no concerns. So of course he's going to praise you. But let me show you this. If I take all those things away from him, watch, he curse your name. So God's like, I can trust my child. Go ahead and do what you wish to him, but don't take his life or whatever. So evil comes and just kills his children, gives him bad health, takes all his money away. His wife even comes to him and says, just curse God and die. I mean, look at this. You were serving this God and you were so happy about God. We were going good for a while, but look at you now. You're down, you're out, and this doesn't even make no sense. If you had a real God, he wouldn't let you go through this. So Job, he gets all in a pity party and he's sad and he's doubting God. But God comes right to him and starts talking to him and saying, who are you to tell me what to do? Did you make the animals on this earth? Did you make yourself? I'm the one who makes everything. I'm the one who gave you the spirit to live, to breathe, and to act. So it's not for you to question me. I mean, it's the same thing. You can look at God as a parent, the highest parent. If you have the best parent in the world, that person deserves a certain amount of respect. If they've been giving you toys all your life and just spoiling you rotten, and then one day for Christmas, they just come and give you a book to read, maybe the Bible, because they're trying to show you an experience where your spirit is more important than these material things. And they give you a Bible, and then you start going crazy and say, a Bible? Where's my present? This is Christmas. I get a Bible, a book? Then the parent has the right to say, haven't I spoiled you rotten? Don't you have all the toys in the world that you want? Don't you have everything that you need? And even after Christmas, if you came to me and asked me for anything, wouldn't I give it to you? So who are you to tell me what I can or cannot give you for Christmas? Stop being greedy. So it's the same way with God. If you can understand that picture where a parent doesn't have to spoil a child rotten and give them all the gifts, and can sometimes give them something that's, not seen as a gift to a child's eye, and then the child responds that way and they can come back like that, then you can understand the whole picture of God. Pretty much put your mind on the highest respect of a parent that they deserve and the highest respect that maybe a judge gets in this world, and realize that God deserves even higher than that. Another scenario, if somebody's standing in front of a judge and they've done a crime, and these two people are equal in humanity, but because one has a degree that's higher than the other, they sit on a bench and can now decide whether you have life in jail or whether you just get a few months or whether you stay not one day in jail. So if you come before a man who's just as equal to you and stand there and wait for sentencing, and he has the ability and power to do that, then so can a high God. So that's the whole point. I speak on these Bible topics so that people can realize there is a God. He loves you. He cares. He's not ignoring you. He wants the best for your life. At the end of everything, he just wants your soul back with him. If you are going through bad times, if someone special has died, it's not to blame God for that, because whenever a spirit is out of the body, then it's obviously present with God. That's what he says in his word. When you're out of the body, you're present with God. So he's the one who breathed into you, gave you life in the first place, and anytime he wants to, he can take it back to him. You're not disappearing forever. It's a good thing for your loved one to go up to heaven or to be with God. So appreciate that. Say thank you, God, that you've received my loved one, instead of saying, God, why'd you take him? Because everybody has a day to die. What do you think, they're gonna stay around forever? I mean, we're not robots. So we all die. It's a thing that happens in life. And let me see if there's anything else to touch on in this subject. That's about it. So if I'm never if I'm never inspired, then I'll just come flip through here and pick out a subject and then talk about it like I did today. Hopefully it's one that I'm more familiar with, but even if it's not, I learned something in the process, because eventually I'll probably go back to this Habakkuk and find out who or what that is. All right, so do I have anything else to say? No. I'm still planning to make songs into Christian songs or songs about God. I'm trying to think, should I make the next one like R&B or oldies or whatever, because those are mostly my genres. I don't know too much about country music or anything. I like violin. But if you have some suggestions, feel free to comment. If you don't, I will think of it on my own. And I just hope you have a blessed